Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics on Random. Egberto Will is your host. Thank you so kindly for being here late. Actually, we are what, 3 hours late? Well, I had to take an impromptu trip to the doctor. Let me just tell you, I first went to check out on my teeth to a dentist. They wanted to do a root canal. I said, sure, let's see what it's got. Well, that's the story of the day. So I won't go there first. Whatever the case is, when I got there, turned out I have some super elevated high blood pressure. So I went ahead and made an appointment with my guy to get another prescription. And as soon as this show is over, I'm going to pick up that prescription because the pressure is ridiculously high. Anyway, let's go ahead and get busy. Michael Rudnin says, CBS News, liberated Ukraine residents rejoice as Russian troops running away from key city of Kharkiv. Ukrainian troops have made sweeping gains, raising their flag again in multiple towns and villages in northeast of the country that were until recently occupied by Russia. That made big news on TV. I'm not going to finish reading that one. Common Dream says, Democratic U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman told a packed Pennsylvania gymnasium Sunday that he will be eliminating the filibuster to protecting abortion rights if elected in November, drawing a sharp contrast with Republican. Come on. This is not working. Yeah, come on. Drawing a sharp contrast with Republicans. Let's see what's the Fetterman campaign, which is currently leading in the polls, has sought in recent weeks to highlight Oz's position on abortion. The guy is a crazy dude. I'll let you guys finish that one. Next one, because today is not going to be a full whole hour. The Daily Beast, Bannon indictment reveals damning text on Build the Wall scheme. He teamed up with wounded Iraq War veteran Brian Coffage, and together they collected money from what Department of Justice described as hundreds of thousands of donors for a project dubbed the Build Back the Wall, or We Build the Wall. While Coffage promised he would not take a penny, and Bannon described it as a voluntary organization, federal investigators later found that they siphoned tons of money. And it turns out that is the case. I have a friend who worked on it, and that's when she gave up on MAGA. Bridge MCPs says, hi all. Justice Department issues 40 subpoenas in a week, expanding its January 6 over the past week. It has seized the phones of top Trump advisors, a sign of an escalating investigation. This stuff is going crazy, baby. Just what we need. AVQ says, watching from Twitch. Bridge says Trump's social media company dealt another setback in road to stock market listing. Former President Trump's social media company has another potentially big problem in its hands. It's struggling to compete a stock market that would allow it to raise more than $1 billion it needs to keep running, but that deal is under legal and regulatory scrutiny and the Securities and Exchange Commission. That is a shame. Bridge MCP, Antigua and Barbuda may try to remove King Charles III as the head of state, as they should. I think Jamaica has it planned as well. Hey, peeps, did you make it? We made it. Alistair Waters in the house. Let's see. Michael Rudnin says, replying. Surprised if Truth Social survives. I don't think it will. Egberto, how are you doing? You're all loaded up. Yes, I am all loaded up. I got all the stuff here. Anyhow, let me tell you guys what went down. I think I must need to change the battery in this mouse. Let me tell you what went down. Got up this morning, still had some pain in my mouth, and that's what the subject is about today. Then I'll play the video, then we'll close the show. No, actually, you know what? Let's do the video first. And then I'll give the story, and then we'll close out the show. I don't want to keep it too long because I have to run, get some very important prescriptions. Go ahead and play the video. This is very, very important, folks, because well, actually, it's not. I mean, it is great that we got somebody that told the truth, right? And I know some of you probably saw it already, but check this out. I have been tired. I've been infuriated of the coverage this week about Queen Elizabeth's death. First of all, condolences to the family. The human in me hates or feels for any family who loses a loved one. But that said, the saturation of the media over the death of a monarch is, I think, embarrassing. Worse is the fact that as we discuss the monarchy, that in a civilized world now, a world that is trying to relieve itself of the savagery of colonialism and what it has done to people, to the theft that occurred, it was great today to see Ali Velshi not only schooled a historian, but attempt to give him some perspective whether he liked it or not. This is beautiful. This is what real journalism looks like.
Queen Elizabeth was an even-tempered monarch who was never quick to react or show her emotions or reveal much about her private life. In that way, she endeared herself to the public, and her popularity is unmatched by any other member of the royal family. Though, for that same reason, her popularity and the institution she represented took a major hit after the death of Diana, who was pretty much the opposite of the stoic, reserved queen. And as beloved as Elizabeth was, she also represented an institution that had a long and ugly history of brutal colonialism, violence, theft, and slavery. For many centuries, the British robbed other nations of their wealth and power and exploited their people. Even as Queen Elizabeth's reign largely marked the beginning of the post-colonial era, the horrors that her long line of ancestors inflicted upon many generations of people across the globe continues to be the source of pain. That's now a legacy that her eldest son, King Charles III, inherits as the new head of state and the head of the British Commonwealth, or what is now known as the Commonwealth of Nations. He's got a massive task ahead of him as the country and his family face an uncertain future without the matriarch who's been their guiding star for so long. Joining our conversation now is Dr. Andrew Roberts. He's an MSNBC British historian, the author of many books about the royal family. We just had an historian say that there are many people who are queenists. They're not monarchists. They liked her. They're bored with the institution or think that it needs to change or aren't going to be that into the next king. Give us your evaluation of that.
I think that's wildly overstated, frankly. I think when you look at all the opinion polls, we're about 80 to 85% in favour of having a constitutional monarchy. I'm afraid to say, as your introduction was, if we had given so much pain to people throughout history, why was Charles chosen by every single Commonwealth country, many of which are former imperial countries, as the head of the Commonwealth? We abolished slavery.
Hold on a second. Andrew, are you really denying what I just said about British colonialism? Are you really doing that, Andrew? Are you really doing that?
We abolished slavery.
Andrew, this is not a propaganda show. Andrew, I need you to stop. I need you to stop for a second. I need you to stop for a second. Are you really taking issue with the horrors of colonialism, Andrew?
I'm certainly taking issue with your remarks about slavery, which we abolished 32 years before you did, and we didn't have to kill 600,000 people in a civil war over it.
So you think that that's fine, that there are people all over the world who were born in colonial countries, because when I was born, the British Empire still existed. That's okay for everybody.
Which country were you born in?
Kenya.
Right, and that the Kenyans not only supported the appointment of Prince Charles, now King Charles, as the head of the Commonwealth. We've just had a fantastic statement from the President of Kenya saying what a wonderful thing and
the President of the United States is going to attend her funeral. The fact is...
So why on earth do you want to concentrate on only the negative things of an institution which is 100 years ago now?
I can read you my opening again. I didn't concentrate on it. I said that there are many people in the world, many millions of people in the world, I don't know if you have social media, but you should check it out, who don't think we should be celebrating the British monarchy right now. Many in Britain, by the way, many in Britain.
No, not many in Britain.
There's a lot more people than that around the world who don't see it the same way, who grew up under the yoke of colonialism in the British Empire.
The way in which the leaders of the entire world are writing to even evil monsters like Putin, are writing to King Charles and saying what a great thing his mother's reign was, which started, as you actually had in your opening intro, you had her talk about the great imperial family to which we all belong. You know, the idea that that is in some way an attack on our past is absurd in my view.
Well, it's nice to be able to whitewash that sort of thing, Andrew, and I'm glad that you closed off with the idea that even Vladimir Putin had nice things to say about the Queen.
I love it. Even Vladimir Putin had nice things to say about the Queen. He was proud of it. You know, hey, the worst guy in the world Even he could say something nice about the Queen. Here's the reality, folks. Why did a lot of these countries remain in the Commonwealth? It's simple. It's not hard to realize. Sometimes you have to grab on to that thing which you really, really hate. So it's money, and we all should know that quite well. You know what? I was happy to see that Ali Velshi made one very important statement. This is not a propaganda show. We are not going to be like the other shows who just whitewash what the British Empire represented. Yes, we will mourn that. We'll be sorry. We'll be hurt for the family of the Queen after losing somebody who gave the vision of being nice, but never once did she come out and say the British Empire was wrong. What we did in India was wrong. What we did in slavery was wrong. All these things were absolutely wrong. And she didn't say that because in acknowledging that, the next question is, are you ready for reparations to solve the problems that you created? Are you ready to give back that which was stolen? The reality is, no, they're not. No, they never will be. They will rather change history. They would rather placate history than do the right thing. And for all of those who are having all these false interpretations, these false beliefs of what British Empire really means, Ali Velshi schools many on this. Thank you, because you have the platform. It's important for us not to allow false historians to go out there and over time overtake what the violence, the savagery that colonialism really was, and to some extent still is. We spend a lot absolutely so, folks. And Bridge, yes, I'm making sure I don't overdo it, my dear beautiful lady. We all have responsibilities, and yes, we have to do our responsibilities responsibly. So thank you so kindly. You guys, if you notice, when I knew we were going to be late, I didn't try to go ahead and tell everybody about it. I asked our leader, I said, hey, Bridge, could you please inform all that we're not going to be here until 6 o'clock? And thank you so kindly for doing that, Bridge, as the person who has the page. So thank you so kindly for doing that. The duck that quacks is in the house. England is a bankrupt state. They can't give anything to anyone without borrowing from the World Bank. Bunch of pompous BS. I love you, man. You hit the nail on the head. Ira Hayes, welcome aboard. Let's see who else we got in the house. Tenaj, welcome aboard. May Wood, welcome aboard. Who else is here? Who else? Man, I love you guys still came out even though we are late. I was wondering if there was going to be anybody in the house other than maybe Bridge, you know. But thank you guys, and Senor Radnin. Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys being here. Anyhow, here's the story, and then this is going to be not too long a story, but this is how we're going to end the show today. This is so important. And I want you guys to listen in detail. I want you to listen in detail. I woke up this morning still with pain in my teeth. So I went and I made an appointment with the dentist, and they were able to see me right away. Great. I am so happy about that. Go in there. We have insurance, okay? So we have supposedly dental insurance, okay? And here is the here is the deal. I go in there and they take the first, that full X-ray where they rotate that stuff around your head. It goes all the way around your head, and they took the whole picture of your teeth. I was glad to see that, because what that told me is I had no major happenings going into the cráneo or down below. So that's what that first thing said. And then they said, so which teeth or tooth hurts? And then I pointed them to the side where it hurt, and then they took localized pictures there. Great. All's going great. The lady, the technician is wonderful. She takes good care of me, takes my pressure. Oh my God, the pressure was shooting through my brain. If we decide to do something, you're not going to be able to do it until we get that pressure down. Okay, fine. But by then now we sit down, it's time for me to meet the dentist. Dentist comes in, They give me the cold test, the hammer test, where they hammer each teeth to see which one is the one that's giving problems. Then they take pictures of that side. And she said there may be a little bit of nerve infection right there at the tooth end on one tooth down there. And then there may be another one right on this tooth here. Then I said, but wait, I'm only feeling pain on this one right now. And so she said, well, let's do a root canal on that one. I said, okay. I said, by the way, how much is it going to cost? So she said, well, you're going to get the root canal, and you have to put a crown on it. Now, folks, in Panama, I get root canals, right? I got this one as a root canal, no crown, right? They did a root canal. The teeth got a bit discolored, but it was acceptable. They didn't force you to do a root canal. Now, this tooth is all the way in the back. So they're saying, root canal, root canal. I said, okay, but I don't want a crown. I don't want to pay the amount that you guys are going to want for a crown, even though I don't know what it costs. She said, why don't you let them fix the bill for you? I said, okay. Remember, I'm in there with pain for a teeth issue. And it comes to mind what our friend from Canada told me in that interview we did at Netroots. He said when we go into a doctor's office, we never, ever talk money. Ever. We make the patient healthy. Okay. So the business manager comes into the room. I'm there in the room in the couch. She brings a computer screen. She says it's better if I show you on a computer screen. This is what she sent me, right? So I said, okay. The total amount of that visit today to take those x-rays and for the doctor to hammer me a few times was $318. Okay? The insurance took care of that. But then comes the real stuff now. All to go ahead and set up the root canal is $1,589 to put a post on. In other words, what that is to grind down the tooth, and to grind down the tooth is $1,589. To pulp the tooth, meaning take out the nerves and all of that, is and that is just to go around it, $276. To do the actual root canal, $1,185. Pulp vitality, I have no idea what that is, $68. Limited exam, another limited exam, $82. And something called endemic, $420. I'm not done. ADA intra-orifice, I don't know what that is, $199. And then ADA core buildup, $319, for a grand total. Hear me out, guys. If I did that root canal when they asked me to do that root canal, it would have been a grand total of $5,000. One tooth. Then they are talking about wanting me to do two. Here it is, folks. These are I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see the bills. I want you to see. I'm giving privacy to the dental house because I don't want to. I still want to give them a chance to redeem themselves. See if they'll call me back before I expose the fraud that dentists really are. Okay, so look. I went to see this other doctor today, my doctor for my blood pressure, and she said, "Oh, just go to Mexico, $350, the whole thing." So what they're going to do for $5,000 or so may cost me $350 to $500 in Mexico. Cash. This here is insurance pays half, I pay the other half. What do you think those suckers really did? They probably jacked the price up so that they still make a lot of money both from the insurance and from us. It's thievery. Now, look, you know what I did? I got out of there and I said, I am not. I will live with the pain. I will live with the pain and the antibiotics until the pain goes away. You know, Bree says, Egberto, you do know that you can go to a dental school, got excellent treatment, and they take insurance or not. I will look into that. Somebody else told me that. I don't remember when they told me that, but I'll look into that. My insurance covers partial dentist routines, visits according to my correct cleaning and fillings, but root canals and crowns, etc., out of pocket. Yep, it's terrible. If you don't address this pain, it's going to get worse. I'm addressing it. I actually am taking antibiotics for it, and you can actually see where they claim there was an infection. It may be going down because the pain is not as substantial as it was then. So my point is, folks, all of you that are against Medicare for all of you that are into this private healthcare, private medicine, let me tell you, you can decide whether to buy a dinner at a McDonald's or a dinner at some place or not. You have that choice. You can decide whether you want to buy coconut milk or orange milk or whatever. You can decide that. But when you are in pain, when you need a transplant, when you need to cut an organ out, to leave that up to the private sector, to the market, means they have the ultimate power to get you to buy whatever they're selling. And that's what they did. They tried to do with me today. They were making the bet that since I am in so much pain, Egberto, if you need a root canal, that means there's a hole in both your tooth and your nerve pulp. I am pretty sure there is, but what I'm doing is I am using the current state, because that was probably there for a long time, because I've had similar occurrence that cleared up before. And you're right, Michael Rudden, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But what they do, the way they get people to sign their lives away in healthcare, is you are in pain, you are scared, you want to get rid of the pain, you know that you don't have many options, and you just sign whatever they give. Well, they met one crazy sucker today, because I was going to sign absolutely nothing. I was not going to take out credit to get them to pay these guys $3,000 or so over time. I was not going to go ahead and do that. I think it's highway robbery what they're doing. It's a transfer of wealth from everybody else to those who have that particular skill and the wherewithal to do it. It is time for these things that require healthcare, energy, and all these things. They do not belong in the private sector. And these are reasons why. I am going to try to make a better blog on this and show why we need to take this out of the private sector. Hey, medical vacation. Oh, yes, I hear you, buddy. I may do just that. Guys, I am at the end of the show today. Like I said, it was only going to be a half-hour show because, again, I need to go get some medicine before things close up, etc. But I want to thank all of you. I mean all of you, for spending this time with me, for still coming out while we're doing this at an odd hour. Tomorrow we should have a full program. I will check dental schools. Thank you, Bridge MCP. Tomorrow we'll have a full program, all willing. So my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out! We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.